Adrian, how is this summer shaping up for water in New Mexico?
Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, it's absolutely terrible. And I don't think enough people are talking about it and are aware of how bad a water year we're facing this year. Inflows to the Rio Grande at El Vado are expected to be 33% of the last 10 years median flow.
Oh, wow.
A lot of folks are aware that we're looking at dramatically less water in the Rio Grande due to climate change over the next 50 years. But what we're seeing this year is what we were projecting was going to be happening out decades from now.
Wow, that is incredible.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah, absolutely. And New Mexico relies on a complicated string of reservoirs to store water for various uses. Some of that's dedicated to irrigation, so farms,
That's right.
and others hold water for cities. What happens when one of those pieces stops working?
Yeah, so it's interesting that on the Rio Grande main stem we only have one dam, and that's Cochiti, and it's really only for flood control and recreation. The dams that we use to store water for the city, for the farmers, for the fish, those are on the Chama River, the Rio Chama, and so we've got at the top Heron, where we store the imported San Juan Chama water we bring over from the San Juan River. And then below that we have El Vado, which is the dam that is currently broken. And below El Vado we have Abiquiu, where we store a lot of the city's San Juan Chama water. So with one of those pieces taken out of the mix, it's creating incredible challenges, but it's also making us think creatively as well, in terms of how we can use the other reservoirs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. And El Vado, the one that's broken,
Right.
is one of fewer than 10 steel-faced dams that still exist in the world.
That's right.
When it was built in the 1930s, they used packed earth covered with steel plates.
Right.
What are some of the signs that the dam is struggling?
Yeah, so we've known for a while that the dam has had issues. I mean, when you put steel plates and put them underwater, things are going to happen, and actually more things happen when you take the water away or move it back and forth. Early on, a small spring developed on the downstream side of El Vado, affectionately called Deer Springs. But I mean, it was obvious the dam was leaking. And there are other clear signs. The spillway that brings water over the top of the dam if it overflows. I remember walking down the spillway, 10, 15 years ago, and you could hear the hollow echoing underneath your feet from the cavitation of the soil that should have been there holding it up.
Oh my,
Yeah.
that's quite dramatic.
Yeah, it was a little scary.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And I think engineers started going in and assessing the status of the dam, and somewhere around 2007 they realized that there were some problems.
I think that's about right, yeah. I mean, we really started getting serious about it, I think, around 2014, 2015. One of the problems that we had was that El Vado does not have a large population below it. And so getting it prioritized as a dam for the federal government to come in and invest in repairs was difficult because they prioritize dams that when they fail, they're going to kill a lot of people or flood out a lot of people.
Right.
And we just didn't have the numbers to justify bringing the feds in. So the delegation was great and worked with the Conservancy District and got it bumped up on the priorities list.
That would be like the New Mexico delegation to Congress,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
right.
the Middle Rio Grande Conservancy District
That's
kind of
right.
worked together to get this dam prioritized.
You've got it.
And so for folks who don't pay attention to the structural integrity of dams for a living,
Yeah.
can we put some context around that time frame of 10 years ago to have figured out that there was a problem is a while?
It's a while, yeah. I mean, this dam was built during the Depression, 1933 to 35. We filled it up in 36. Part of the rationale of using the steel plates was to boost the steel industry during the Depression.
Wow.
The dam had to have some rehabilitation work done in the 50s. The Bureau of Reclamation came in and during that terrible drought, helped do some repairs on the dam. For a dam that's close to 100 years old, it's done a pretty impressive job, over the years. But El Vado is really incredibly important to us because it's kind of like the Swiss Army knife of reservoirs. We were able to do a little bit more with it. We were able to be a little bit more flexible with it than with other dams. So, Heron upstream, San Juan Chamo water, Abiquiu downstream, flood control, San Juan Chamo water. But at El Vado, we were storing water for all the farmers in the Middle Rio Grande. We store the Prior and Paramount, the senior water rights for the 6 pueblos down here. There is power, hydropower. 8 megawatts is generated out of that dam and is owned by Los Alamos County. We store a little bit of water for the Rio Chama Acequia associations up there, right? Yeah. And then we also store water for the fish, for the endangered fish down here in this valley.
Right, of course.
And then below El Vado, we have this incredibly important recreational stretch where you've got this really good German brown trout population. And so flows are regulated in certain ways to try to help those populations and boost the fishing economy. And then the rafting economy has really relied on steady weekend releases out of El Vado. So carefully managing other people's water and delivering it on a schedule that helps boost this other economy within New Mexico, the recreation economy.
Right, that's a lot of impacts. And that's a highly coveted stretch of river to get a permit to spend an overnight raft trip on, right?
Yeah, it's a magical place.
Yeah, totally stunning. Are we looking at like catastrophic dam failure as possible here? Like the whole thing could collapse? Or has that been averted?
No. Well, I won't say anything's been averted because they haven't been able to fix it.
Right.
But essentially what's happened is these steel plates were put down on dirt, and that dirt has cavitated out behind it. The plates have eroded and they're very old, right? The initial attempts to fix it were to put grouting along and behind these plates. But unfortunately, the grouting caused some of the plates to buckle. And so that's when the fix stopped. The folks at Reclamation stepped back and said, this isn't going to work. We need a new solution. And so no work is being done at El Vado right now, and probably won't be for a couple of years while we develop what the plan is to fix it.
And so they're really kind of stuck. Like I think they drained the reservoir in 2022 in the hopes that they could start, implementing this fix, and it's just...
That's right.
It's not working.
Yeah.
My understanding is like the dam is in much worse condition than they anticipated.
Yeah, it's bad. I was on the board of the Conservancy District, 2009, 2017. So we were having a lot of discussions about it back then. Back then it was full, or we were holding a lot of water, so we really didn't have a strong idea of the extent of the problem. And in those early days, we were actually talking about bringing in divers to go in and fix it while the water was still in there.
Oh my.
Yeah. And of course, nature has changed that plan.
Right.
We don't need divers anymore, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
Given the visible lack of success with this approach and construction stopped and likely to remain stopped for at least another 3 to 6 years, foreseeable future, while the engineers try to figure out what to do, how are water managers coping without this dam? We talked about a number of different aspects that are affected.
Yeah. We're still able to use it a little bit. About 25,000 acre feet of water can be stored there.
Of 200,000?
Yeah.
Okay, so
right. No,
a little bit.
Good to keep it in perspective, for sure. One thing that we've talked about for years has been our interest in managing our dams in what we would call a conjunctive manner. Taking away these limitations of, you can only store one kind of water here and one kind of water there, and looking at how we can use them in a more flexible way, so we can optimize the system, take advantage of, freak storms and capture that water, or move water to create space when we need it. But we've had our hands tied by the laws that establish these reservoirs. This problem has caused people who otherwise would not be thinking about creative reservoir operations to have to think about them. And so part of the solution is, we're this year storing some of the Pueblo's water in Abiquiu. That required, some approval of the Texas Rio Grande Compact Commissioner and lots of other people, and it was a long process. But that kind of flexibility is something that never would have been contemplated if El Vado was still functioning. So there may be a little silver lining here in that, you know, we're thinking about our reservoir management in a broader way.
And that adaptation could like roll out and take other roles potentially as we're looking at like a more climate strange future.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, Congresswoman Stansberry has been trying to champion an effort to have a National Academy study of our reservoir systems on the Rio Grande.
Oh, wow.
So doing a very high level scientific analysis of what is the optimal way to use these reservoirs to maximize our water supplies.
Great,
Yeah.
great. In January, the Trump administration dismissed all of the National Dam Safety Review Board members. Does the lack of that piece of oversight add any concern here?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, because there are dams all over the country. I mean, there are a lot of dams in New Mexico that need work. This is just a very prominent situation here. Yeah, no, and you know, we're thinking that we're probably going to see 40% cuts to the staff at Bureau of Reclamation. They have a Denver Technical Service Center that provides a lot of, you know, sort of the research work that helps us figure out how to fix dams. You know, the cuts up there, you know, could seriously impact the timeline that, you know, we're looking at for fixing El Vado. So, yeah, but truth be told, with this administration, it's also chaotic. I don't want to predict anything, but
Right.
it's certainly not helping.
Right,
Yeah.
definitely hard to predict at this particular
Yeah.
moment. Adrienne Oglesby,
Yeah.
thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.